How's it going, everyone? I'm Sir James, coming at you guys with yet another Star Wars custom lightsaber review. This time we're going to be taking a look at another Ultimate Works lineup that has joined the Star Wars Visions line. For those of you who are not familiar with Star Wars Visions, it's basically a handful of different Star Wars episodes where they're all unique to one another, meaning that instead of being tied into anything having to do with the characters that we're familiar with our Star Wars shows, these are different studios partaking their perspective in the Star Wars universe. So each storyline is unique to their perspective, which is pretty cool. Now, Star Wars Visions may not be for everyone, especially if you're not into anime and cartoons and whatnot, but if you are, I would highly encourage you to check it out, as not every episode is like a home run, but there are definitely some episodes out there where you're just like, when's the first season type of moment. This particular lightsaber is from the episode called Lop, and I believe it's Ocho. If I'm not pronouncing that second part right, I do apologize. My pronunciations are not the best. And the moment I saw this lightsaber pop in on screen in that episode, I was sitting there thinking, like, well, first off, someone's going to make that. And when it happens, I want it, which I have here in my hands. So let me give you guys a closer look here. Again, this is a very beautiful hilt. So first off, you have this little tassel here. There's probably a better term for this than tassel. If it's just tassel, cool. But if there's a specific term for this section here that would be on, let's say, swords and whatnot, feel free to let me know. Got the nice colors there. The cool design here on the pommel section, not the pommel, but the grip area. And as you reach the pommel, so this is the control box for your power and off and all that. And then the design here on top. And this is a blade plug that can be removed to go ahead and store a, blade. Now this is rocking a Profi board if you were curious. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Ultimate Works lineup of lightsabers, or maybe you're just starting to get into custom lightsabers, because for those of you who may recall, Disney's raising the prices again on their lightsabers, and Savi's Workshop is now $250. Yeah, I'm not too happy about it. But the great thing with custom lightsabers, a lot of people think that these things are going to be hundreds of dollars and whatnot, which it can go that high if you really wanted to. You could even get some really thought out custom ones. But you could even get some custom lightsabers that are relatively inexpensive. Xenopixel, for example, you could find for like $200 or less, and it does more than what the Disney park does. I typically don't like to compare the two, but I'm just kind of pointing things out. But what makes the Ultimate Works lightsaber brands awesome is the fact that they are, you could change the chassis around, and it's a good way to kind of start a collection without going too crazy, because you can buy a fully built lightsaber, meaning that you're getting the full built electronics, you're getting the blade with it, and let's say you wanted to buy a second lightsaber down the road. Instead of forking over all that money to get a fully installed one, you could just go for the option where it's called a pre-kit or pre-installed, and what it is that you can simply just remove the chassis, which I'm going to demonstrate this right now. So if you wanted to remove the chassis off this one, go to where the pommel section is. There is this ring section right here. All you have to do is unscrew that, and once you do that successfully, just put that off to the side, and then you can go ahead and pop out your chassis. So if you got a pre-kit option or pre-installed, and instead of again buying a fully installed one, buy the cheaper option and then just remove this from your current saber, pop it into your new one, and there you go. You save a lot of money that way, and you're pretty much starting your collection from there. So let me go ahead and just pop this back into place. Make sure I put it in correctly. That's always a key factor. Alright, and then for this, it only goes in one way as far as lining the pieces back up. So once you do that, just screw the parts in, and there you go. I will say one thing though before we actually put the blade in here. There was one part that was a bit of a hassle. It still technically is, and it's this section right here. First, trying to figure out how to tie it on was a pain in the rear, and it's not the most secure fit because whatever this material is made of, some kind of silky material, easily slides off this. So, for example, if I wanted to swing this around, I would have this part off, otherwise that's not going to stay. In fact, I'm using a little twist tie here trying to help it. I was thinking of maybe using hot glue, but I don't know if hot glue would potentially damage it. So that is something that you guys can let me know if you know of a better option to fix it. So let me go ahead and insert the blade by removing the blade plug, of course. It's currently raining outside, so I can't really go outside and demonstrate this, but I will turn off the main light here and then pop in a little bit of a shorter blade. Now, technically in the episode itself, it is a green color for the blade, but instead of like a normal lightsaber blade here, it's more of like the katana style, like sword style, so it's got like that curvature in the top here. I don't know if anyone actually makes a specifically a NeoPixel blade that's got that same tip on the top there. I would have to actually look. Same thing with the box that's presented with the hilt when I was shown case. So let's go ahead and turn this off here and ignite. This is not the actual current saber font. I know someone did make a saber font for this particular character. Unfortunately, he's kind of interchanged his website, so I have no idea how to access that particular font anymore, which is why I waited and prolonged this review in attempts to try to secure it with no luck, unfortunately. But here's how it looks, of course, with the blade ignited. Now with Profi, of course, I'm not using any of the default Saber fonts because it comes with like the standard Profi package. So I just threw some fonts on here, fonts mostly related to Star Wars Visions. One of them is actually from Fallen Order, which I think it's the next one.
Restore the Jedi Order. Oh, you poor fool.
So that would be the Jedi Fallen Order one.
Dathomir will be your grave. Jedi.
There you go. So The Ninth Jedi is a great episode. I would highly encourage you to watch if you don't want to watch the whole season. I mean, again, they're all different episodes anyways. This one I'm actually going to change probably a little bit later on this week, where I'm going to add quotes specifically from the female character, where I chose this particular color because when she activated the lightsaber, it didn't partake a color. It wasn't red, wasn't green or blue or purple or anything like that. It was just kind of a non-colorless, basically colorless blade, until eventually her true color for her blade eventually kicked in. So I'm going to add the quotes of her saying like, oh, I wonder what my blade color is going to be and whatnot. So that's what I chose here. Now at any point, if I really wanted to, I could just do these two commands. And I can just go ahead and pick whatever color I want. So if I wanted to be teal, purple, or whatnot, it's going to go ahead and just kind of pick one here.
Elder.
And then we have the Elder. Of course, this is more of the kind of like the Kylo Ren font. As far as gripping and controlling of the hilt, it actually feels good in the hands. Of course, nice and very responsive as well.
Disgraceful.
This one was from the very first episode, actually. I don't remember the chick's name, but her lightsaber was very weird because it was like an umbrella style, and then eventually she pulls out the saber from the rest of the components and just having a normal fight. But it's a pretty nice one. Oop. There's also a cool Ronin font. I didn't remember how to do the effect, or when Ronin is pulling out his saber from the sheath and it's all activating at the same time. It's a really cool effect.
Rogue Commander.
And this is just, Rogue Commander is actually one of the basic fonts that you will get when you get this particular saber if you go for the Profi option. So I just put a blue one on here. And then, as I mentioned, you could also change various of colors with the Profi options. So we'll do, I already have green, so let's do kind of like a yellowish. There you go. And then back to green. So overall, it's actually a very nice lightsaber. Obviously, one of the caveats to kind of note here is that there's no cover tech wheel, and there is no option that I could relatively see that's presented onto the hilt. Or you could maybe add a cover tech wheel, or maybe you can go ahead and add a D-ring or something like that. There is a couple little screws here. So if you wanted to remove this gold piece off here, you just simply unscrew this one and this one here. Maybe it might be able to work right here to potentially add a cover tech wheel. I'm not 100% positive on that, as I don't have the parts to try it. And again, like I said, just the one real main issue here, besides maybe unable to wear it on yourself because there's no way to hook it on, is just this section here. Just me twisting it already kind of came undone. I just put it all back together. So that's the only thing. I think it would be kind of cool, and hopefully I could find one like the box that is shown in the show, where the hilt was just sitting there before it was handed over to its new owner, kind of like a family generation tradition. But other than that, let me know what you guys think about this lightsaber in the comment section down below. Ultimate Works did release also another Star Wars Visions lightsaber based for the character of Ronin, which hopefully I'll be able to get my hands onto. Right now I've just been focused, of course, paying bills and whatnot, which is why I've been mostly AFK, and things are a little bit slow as far as anything new that Disney has released on their end. So also please understand that as well. But once again, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next video upload, hopefully soon this time. Until then, may the Force be with you, and have a wonderful day.